Hi everybody, welcome back. So if you've been following along, we are on public land use, and it's not necessarily Maryland. We're gonna do this entire section here, section 7. We're not gonna break it down by units anymore. So if you've been following along, we usually been breaking it down by each unit, but it's taken too long to get this course done. So we are going to this study guide that you need to pass your test, as I call it. We're going to keep going all the way through. Hopefully I won't run out of breath talking. Okay, while both the federal and state regulations provide a regulatory framework for the process of planning and zoning, the nuts and bolts occur at the local level. This is great news because you'll be working at the local level. Identify the local authority role in planning and zoning. Okay, we're going to describe the role of the planning board. I don't know how many questions on the test are on this, but there is some land. It might be 1 or 2 land questions, but some of these things are not, necessarily on the test, but it may help you understand a question that's on the test. I've taken this test twice for Maryland and Virginia and passed it, by the way. It's just that if you let your license expire every 3 years and don't keep up, you have to do this again. So that's a lesson learned because you don't want to go through this more than one time. All right, so let's understand the planning board. The planning board decides the layout of the community. And we got a lot of this going on right now. I don't really recall having any tests on this, but it's good to know. The planning board's purpose is to make sure the community grows in an orderly fashion. They're doing a lot of this all over the U.S. right now. I can't speak for international because I don't know how that's set up at all. But I know here in the U.S. they're doing these community plannings all over the place. Unfortunately, most of them require high HOAs. The proper planning benefits the community as a whole, but the quality of life as parks, schools, sometimes they'll have community, gated communities to keep out bad people, or they think they're going to keep them out. I'm not sure, but this is called Urban Planning Comprehensive Master Plan, and it's to keep things going in the community. It's including like where you shop and all those kinds of things. Sometimes they'll put swimming pools up, theaters, ballparks, golf clubs. But, sometimes they'll also charge an outrageous HOA fee for all these things, too, that you could get somewhere else cheaper. The only the good side is you probably get a brand new house built. But there are, a lot of negatives. And if anyone has any, you can list them below. If people have lived in these before and know what I'm talking about, understand the downsides of this after you've been living a while. So usually they'll have a public hearing to make sure that the area that's already there is okay with it. And then they'll have zoning ordinances come in, implement the comprehensive plan, and regulate the control, zoning, and land use. All right, so let's take these little tests over here. The planning board maps out zones and allows us to use within those zones. Planning board issues variances. The purpose of the planning board is to ensure the community grows in a controlled and orderly fashion. That's hilarious. With a focus on quality of life and livability. The planning board is responsible for the comprehensive master plan, which is based on a survey of the community's physical and economic assets. I don't know about that one. I think that's true. I have not taken this study course before, so I don't have all these answers memorized, but let's see from reading this little thing over here. The comprehensive master plan includes budgeting for long terms, known as capital budgeting. I don't think they do any budgeting. I'm going to say no on that. zoning ordinances are established prior to the planning board. I don't think that's true either. Let's check our answers. Okay, so they do budgeting. Okay, wow. That's the only one I got wrong. Where does it say they do budgeting over here? I don't know. But anyway, if you need any of these resources that we're going to look at here, you just contact me on my website, contact us page. Tell me which exactly one you want. You have to be specific because there's a lot of them in this unit. Okay, you put the planning board and you'll take it. All this is a little story about what the planning zone does. And they pretty much do all these things except for zoning. They do afterwards. Zoning they do afterwards, and they do budgeting. So let's try this again. Yes, no, yes, 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 no. Let's try and see what we got. Okay, so I'm going to let you take a screenshot if you want to. This will help you study. Take a screenshot, send it to yourself, and when you're standing in line or sitting in traffic, go through some of these questions for review. Okay. So I got a new modem yesterday, and I got to tell you that I can really tell the difference already on how much faster this is moving. It's awesome. What is the purpose of a zoning ordinance? Let's go back and look at our note here. Zoning will implement the comprehensive plan and regulate control zoning. All right. I think it's this one. Yay! All right. All right, so the next one is planning boards and subdivision regulations. Yeah, I like it much better doing all the lessons at one time. I mean, if the videos go over 25 minutes, then I'll stop it. But I think this is a much better idea. I think we could get through this a lot quicker. All right, in this lesson, we explore the role of the planning board and the responsibilities regarding the subdivision regulations. We look at the FHA approval process for subdivisions and some of the subdivision terms you should know. These are all good things to know. It may help you pass the test, just to have a knowledge of it. I don't really recall having a subdivision specific question, but it's good to know these things. I don't know if I'm going to read all this or not. I may. All right, let's see. Land divided into lots for development. Let's go back over here and look at this. Okay, Scotty crossed the fingers of his hands, turned his palms upward, stretched his arms out, clearing his throat, looking for the subject. Sal wanted me to talk to you about subdivisions. Oh, no, be nice. I can deny your world. Growing more serious, he turned. The planning board creates the subdivision regulations. As you know from your dad, the builder, all a subdivision is a land divided into lots, so sometimes even a North Star subdivider, he said, clearing his throat again and looking upward at Sal, can develop them. Before the planning board will approve a subdivision, they have to look at the following factors. The demographics of the community, the social economic makeup, whether it's the income level, education. And where do you get all this demographic information? You get it from census figures, which are divided into census tracts based on geographic area. And if you're not familiar with that, the Census Bureau does this like every 10 years. It goes through, and it might do it online now. I actually worked for the Census Bureau when I first started in the government, and I was still in college. And the way we used to do it was they used to mail out things, and people would mail them in. And this is how you get more money from the government, is based on these things that they mail out, and you need to mail them back. Now we live in a more fast-paced society, and people don't want to be bothered with this stuff. But these things are really important, and they're important so that you can get money for your community, and it will also determine a lot whether you get assistance from who your congressman is, who your senator is, all these types of things. It will also determine the economic makeup and how many children there are, if you're going to get new schools built, all these types of things. So it's very important, not to go off on a tangent here, that you fill these things out. I don't know how they're doing it now, because I haven't seen one in a while, so they should be coming up again soon. They probably do it online now, I would think, but we'll see. I haven't seen any in a long time. I think the last one I saw too was actually mailed. But that kind of stuff is falling is not it's not in anymore. Everything's online now, so they'll probably end up changing that. So a lot of it has to do with your schools, your roads, your medical services, fire and police support. So if you want all these things in your community and have a strong community, then you need to make sure that you fill these things out. And also has to do with our roadways, our connection to roadways, our sidewalks, curbs. If you don't want to be forgotten, then you need to fill them out so that you're not forgotten. And they don't think anybody's not living out there, right? If you don't fill them out, they'll be like, well, nobody's living out there, so we're not going to be sending any money out there. Other costs include municipal fees, the government agencies, engineer fees. The developer will get the site ready and approved. All right, land divided into lots for development. I guess that's subdivision. Oh, okay. It says connect each term to description. Social and economic makeup of a community. Well, it says community, so I'm guessing it's community infrastructure. Geographic areas that are developed by the community and Census Bureau are identified by a number. Maybe census tracts? The makeup of water use, schools, road, municipal fees, finances needed to create these sidewalks and curves, utilities within a subdivision, costs paid by the developer to government agencies for application processing. I don't think that's right. I know I got at least one of these wrong. Yeah. Let's see which ones we got wrong. We got like 2 or 3 of them wrong. Okay, this one here is sewers. Didn't we just read this sewer thing? Okay, let's see what it says. It says made up of water, sewage. I remember reading that over here. Made up of water, sewage. Well, here it is right here. Okay, what's it say? It says infrastructure, right? Well, maybe that's community infrastructure. Did I get community? Oh, I got that wrong. Okay. So this one's wrong. This one is community infrastructure. Okay. I have no clue what this one is here. What's this say? Try matching. This is cash paid by developer to government agencies for application processing. Okay. Made up of. It's a social and economic makeup of a community. I'm thinking it's demographics. Did we get demographics right? We did not. So this one has to be demographics. Okay, and then this one is infrastructure. Okay. So we got those two mixed up. All right, cash paid by a developer. It's probably development costs. Oh, that can't be right. That's right here. Municipal fees, maybe? Yeah, maybe that's municipal. Okay, let's try this again. All right, this one's going to be municipal fees. This one is community infrastructure. social demographics, subdivision, social and economic geographic areas by the Census Bureau. So I guess that would be census tract, right? Okay. Development goals. Is that correct? I don't think that's correct. No. Whoops. Sorry about that. Okay. So I think that. All right. Let's see how we did on that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go through this slow in case you need to take a picture. Land divided into lots for development, subdivision, social and economic makeup of a community is demographics. Geographic areas developed by a community in the Census Bureau, census tracts, made up of water usage, utilities, schools, roads, medical services, fire, police support, community infrastructure. Finances needed to connect roadways, build sidewalks, curbs, connect utilities within a subdivision is development costs. Cash paid by a developer to government agencies for application processing, engineers, other site investigation works as municipal fees. Okay, developers who plan on FHA financing in their subdivision must follow FHA's minimum building standards. All right, let's look at this. Developers who plan on FHA financing must follow FHA's minimal building standards. FHA doesn't lend money directly to home buyers. Instead, they insure mortgages approved lenders, so they provide low to medium income borrowers that have more access to flexible and affordable mortgages. Most required FHA standards are included in federal building codes. The primary difference between these codes relate to fixtures. All right, let's see. Developers who plan FHA in their subdivisions, yes. FHA lends money directly to home buyers. No, they lend them the mortgages. The FHA insures mortgages that approved lenders provide low to medium income borrowers have flexible and affordable mortgages. Most of the standards required by FHA are included in federal building codes. The primary difference between general codes and FHA's minimum property standards relate to the durability of the dwelling fixtures. No, that's not true. Okay. The primary difference between general building code and FHA minimum property standards relate to fixtures. All right, not the durability of the foundation. All right. All right, let's try it again. We're going to do that one first so I don't forget. All right. Yes, they don't divide here, and I'm going to go through this more quickly in 1 second. I just want to make sure I get them all right. Okay, now if you want to take any pictures from memory, developers who plan on FHA financing in their subdivision must follow the FHA's minimum building standards. FHA lends money directly to home buyers. The FHA insures mortgages that approve lenders so that low to medium income borrowers have access to more flexible and affordable mortgages. Most of the standards required by FHA are included in federal building codes. The primary difference between general building codes and FHA's minimum property standards relate to the durability of the dwelling fixtures. Okay? Not the foundation. I doubt that's going to be a question on the test, but it's good to know. I don't recall ever seeing anything like that on the test. If you were a developer trying to obtain approval for a planned subdivision, you need to know about Plat, density, street, and traffic plans. Now, I do remember seeing something about Plat before. Are you familiar with these terms? Let's see how long this is. Oh my God. All right, so if you need this resource, be sure and contact me. A plat map shows the size and the shape of the lot. And for those who ever had a new house built, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The planning board has the density zoning rules that make up a specific space without turning our citizens into sardines. I mean, it's starting to look like that a lot all over the place. And they have to include the minimum lot size, the dwelling size. The planning board reviews the site plan, so showing the layout of the community from the developer. All the site plans include the topography of the land. This includes, like, if there's a little lake there, if there's a playground, the types of soil, the types of wetlands, vegetation, is there utilities and pipelines that are located. The overall look of the subdivision, is there a golf course on it? So it has to include plans for utilities, the drainage, the zoning, open spaces, the sidewalks, how it's going to be marketed. The developer will need to submit a survey report and show how it's going to impact the entire community, the environmental impact on the area, if they can handle all the extra traffic, if the schools can handle more people, all these types of things. Let's see what it says. Oh, this is another one where we got to connect. A payment made by developers to local authorities to offset any impact. This impact fees? Environmental impact, yeah. That's impact fees, okay. An area of mixed use allowed for residential and commercial. I am thinking... maybe let's see. I don't know. We're going to save that one for last because I don't know that one yet. Okay, I can't find it in here either. All right, a document used to determine the proposed subdivision physical, social, and economic impact on the community. I think it's the site plan. Okay, this one here. Streets that are dead ends and don't connect with a main road. Cul-de-sac. PUDs. What is PUDs? That's probably the answer on that. PUDs. Plan unit. Plan unit development, probably. Okay. I don't even see that in here. Plan unit development. That's kind of a trick question there, because they're not even talking about it in here. Okay. Anyway, a document a developer submits to the planning board. Maybe that's this. Plan unit development. That's probably what that is. Plan unit development. Okay, I'll save that one. A calculation for the number of people who can reside in a specific space. And I would think that's zoning. Zoning rules. We don't want everybody. We already got that one. All right, let's look at this. This area that's mixed for residential. What's Plat map? Density of the lot. So let's go up here. Wait, this is a trick one. Let me see if I see anything on Plat map. Shape and size of a lot. So I'm thinking that's Plat map here. And this is not how the test is going to be broken down, by the way. It's probably going to be multiple choice. But it's okay. All right. Good job. That was a little tougher than expected. Okay. A document a developer submits to the planning board is a plat map. A calculation for the number of people is the zoning rules. The streets that are dead end or cul-de-sacs. A document used to determine the proposed subdivision's physical, social, economic impact on the community. area of mixed use for residential and commercial development, a payment made by developers for local authorities. All right, site plan. Select all that apply. You're a developer who's planning for a subdivision. What do you include in your plan? I think you plan all this stuff. I don't know. Let's check it. You got it. All of these. All of these have to be included in their plan. Let's see where we're at, because this video is getting a little long, so I might have to cut it off. Okay. So we will do 3, 4, and the unit exam on the next video, okay? Because this one's like 25 minutes now, which is pretty good. I don't want it too long or I'm going to lose all of you. All right, I'll see you on the next video.